You board the ship and feel the pressure immediately because those first 2 hours are a total trap. Your kids are already tired, you are juggling heavy bags, and the massive crowd drifts toward the same few spots like it was planned that way. Most families follow the herd straight to the buffet, which feels like a logical move until you realize you just handed your entire week over to whoever happened to get in line first. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you a simple plan for your first 2 hours that makes the buffet, the safety drill, and your dinner bookings feel easy so you aren't stuck decoding the ship while everyone is hungry. Before we get into it, hit like and subscribe if you want MSC tips that save you time and money on any MSC cruise ship. The number one mistake on an MSC cruise happens before you even notice it, and that is letting the crowd pick your first stop for you. You walk onto the ship, smell the food, and see people flowing toward the elevators, which makes it easy to slip into buffet first autopilot while the ship fills up around you. MSC sells the idea that European style meets American comfort, and while that is mostly true, the reality of day one is that the ship will not pick the comfort moves for you. You have to choose those moves early, while the lines are at their absolute worst, and the better options are still wide open. Those first 2 hours are prime time, not because they are particularly fun, but because this is when dining times, specialty reservations, and help desks still have the flexibility to move things around for you. Once that window closes, you don't just wait longer in line, you actually get stuck with whatever leftover times are still on the schedule. This is exactly how the whole week starts to feel annoying. Your kids want food right now, you try your best to stay chill, and someone eventually says, "We will just figure it out later." The problem is that later usually turns into being stuck with late-night dining room times all week, or you end up paying for specialty dining just to eat at a normal hour because nobody wants to face another line. Think about it like this: those first 2 hours are for setting your schedule, not for winning lunch. Now, let's start exactly where the stampede starts, which is the buffet. The buffet feels like total chaos on embarkation day because every single person on the ship has the exact same idea at the exact same time. You end up in this frustrating loop where you are waiting for a plate, then hunting for a table that doesn't exist, and then waiting again for a simple glass of water. It burns through the precious hours you should be using to get your vacation started. And honestly, nobody wants to start their week fighting a crowd for a lukewarm slice of pizza. If you are cruising with MSC out of a US port, you should lean into the newer setups they have been building specifically for American families. On the ships designed for the US market, you will find spots like the neon-lit diners or the Luna Park-style areas that offer included quick bites without the formal dining room drama. Even if your specific ship doesn't have that exact layout, there is almost always a quieter included counter somewhere that everyone else is ignoring because they are all riding the buffet escalator like it is the only place to eat. The golden rule for day one is to eat something good enough and fast. Then you can worry about the fancy meals later once the crowd spreads out across the decks. As soon as you step on board, you need to pick one food strategy and just commit to it. If you see a quieter spot with a shorter line, take it immediately rather than walking the whole ship to see if there is something better. If every single place looks slammed, do not fight the crowd head on, but instead wait 30 minutes and do something productive like checking your dining assignment. That small delay can actually cut your total food wait time in half because you aren't fighting the initial wave of hungry passengers. Whatever you do, please do not make the whole family stand in the buffet line together because that just creates more stress for everyone. If you have 2 adults, one of you should scout for seats in a calm area nearby while the other person grabs the actual food. This one simple change saves you from doing those awkward laps around the room while juggling heavy plates and watching your kids have a meltdown. If you are traveling solo with kids, your best bet is to go for the grab-and-go options first to get them fed and happy. Once the kids are settled with a snack, you can circle back for your own meal when the pressure is dropped. A calm child with a slice of pizza buys you the time you need to make smart choices, whereas a hungry kid will force you into the first long line you see. You want to avoid the wandering walk, where you just wander around to see what you find, because that usually turns into an hour of wasted time. Once you handle lunch in a quick and efficient way, you can knock out the next big task that usually causes families a ton of unnecessary stress. The lifeboat drill is the other big moment where families tend to lose control of their first day. It is very easy to treat the safety briefing like something you will just deal with later once you have unpacked your bags. The The problem is that later is exactly when the hallways get choked up and the elevators turn into a massive waiting game. You end up trying to finish a mandatory safety requirement while everyone is already tired and the kids are starting to get cranky. What you want to do instead is clear this task as early as possible so the rest of your afternoon stays completely open for fun. If your family is the high-energy type that wants to hit the pool right away, this matters even more. The fun stuff on the top decks gets busy fast, and nothing kills the vacation momentum like a loud announcement telling you that you still have to do your drill. You should treat the drill like a quick task on a checklist rather than a major event. As soon as your muster station information is available, you should split up the responsibilities between the adults. One person can handle the steps on the MSC for Me app to make sure everyone is checked in, while the other adult keeps the kids moving toward the station. Use that walk as a chance for a quick bathroom break or a look at the deck map so you are burning off restless energy without standing in another line. Doing the drill early also helps lower that weird, "I don't know where I am" feeling that happens on a new ship. You get to walk the route once, see the signage for yourself, and maybe even spot a hidden staircase that you can use later to avoid the elevator crowds. The payoff for this effort shows up almost immediately because you will skip the hallway jam that happens when the crew starts pushing the remaining passengers through in large batches. You won't be rushing because a crew member is telling you that you are late, and you will finally be free to look at the show schedule or the kids club without that chore hanging over your head. One small detail that saves a lot of arguments is to pick a very specific meetup spot before you separate. Do not just say, "Meet by the elevators," because these ships have dozens of them spread across multiple decks. Pick a very obvious landmark or a specific bar on the same deck so nobody wanders off and you don't burn 20 minutes trying to find each other. Now that the food is handled and the drill is out of the way, you are ready for the part of the day that determines if your dinners feel smooth or annoying for the rest of the week. The biggest mistake people make with specialty dining isn't the booking itself. It's waiting until they feel hungry to check the schedule and then acting shocked when the only slots left are at 10 at night. Your family doesn't need a perfect itinerary on day one, but you do need a plan that actually works, and those prime dinner times are always the first things to disappear. You should book the earliest realistic slot your family would actually show up for right when you get on board. If your kids usually fall apart after 8, don't try to chase a 9:30 deal just because it saves you a few dollars, because a cheap meal isn't worth a public meltdown. Once you lock in a normal time and get a feel for the ship's rhythm, you can always adjust or cancel your reservation without any added stress. Keep in mind that specialty dining isn't always the smartest move for every family. It can definitely lower your stress levels when you want a guaranteed seat and a faster pace, but if your kids only eat 3 bites before asking for ice cream, the main dining room is usually the better value. Saving that money allows you to put your budget toward the experiences you'll actually remember years from now. If you use the MSC status match, this is the exact moment you need to confirm what you're actually getting on this specific sailing. You should ask the staff directly which perks apply to your account and if any discounts hit the specialty restaurants, because people pay full price every single day for meals that their status should have covered for free. When you go to book, use a simple script to get the details you need. Ask them what the most kid-friendly time is, how long the service usually takes, and which nights might conflict with the main theater shows. Asking that one question prevents you from accidentally booking dinner right on top of the comedy club, which usually leads to a rushed meal and a lot of frustration. If you want a plan you can just copy and paste, remember to handle your schedule first and your food second. Walk on the ship and verify your status perks immediately so you can fix any missing discounts before you start spending money. Lock in your dinner times and any specialty spots you actually care about. Then finish your safety drill early while the hallways are still easy to navigate. After that, find a quiet spot for a quick bite instead of fighting the crowds at the buffet, and make sure you pick a clear landmark to meet up with your group. Your first day on the ship feels a lot more relaxed when you treat those opening 2 hours like a quick setup phase instead of immediate vacation time. On your next MSC sailing, I want you to write down your first 3 stops as book, drill, and eat, and you need to stick to that plan even when the smell of the buffet tries to distract you. Following this simple order is the best way to avoid late dinner times and those annoying extra charges that happen when you aren't prepared. Now that you have your boarding day figured out, you should watch 9 MSC cruise tips every first-time cruiser needs to know to make sure the rest of your trip is just as smooth. Happy cruising!